life of its own. That's reflected light from the sun. Does everybody get that? That's very important to understand. But, you know, if you're looking at the moon looks like, you know, it got phases, look like it's doing all of that. And maybe it could have some life on there. You know, we keep looking, checking, you know. But the reality is, that's an illusion. Just like the false self, the ego. So the point is here, reconnect to yourself. You have to do it experientially. You cannot do it intellectually. You have to find a way where you reconnect to yourself. Now, reconnect don't mean go get needles and thread and, you know, weave it back together. It means to change your point of view, transform your consciousness, recognizing that you are whole, recognizing that you are the source of happiness, recognizing that things are just things out there, and it's not the source of your happiness. In fact, if things were the source, you wouldn't have love for all of these things. It must be you. It must be you all the time. You're projecting your love on various things at various times during your life. But like the characters in The Winners, they didn't recognize that they had what they were looking for because they were asleep. So I'm saying to you, in all this heat, wake up and know that you are the happiness you seek. That's so important so that you don't spend the rest of your life and the rest of your resources going broke, trying to make yourself happy by dealing with external forces. My last example on that is one of relationships. Think of relationships you've had and how happy you were when they first started. Do you remember that? Do you remember when you got married, especially for females? I know that's a stronger drive in you than a male. Men just want to go get blind and come and be ready. But for women, that's very sacred. And you know, you got married and you thought, this is it. This is showtime. I can start my nesting stuff and we can roll. Well, where is that nesting partner now? And you swore then that you were just happy forever, eternally happy. Even if you're with the same person. The phases of marriage is such that there's a phase of romance, and then there's the rest of marriage. Oh, you're just with, you're just with another human being. And if you leave that one, it's going to be just another human being that you're going to have to work it out with too, if you're going to stay together with somebody. So it's important to see that nobody can make you happy. We're catching hell making our own selves happy. We haven't even found the source of happiness, most of us. We still think it's out there, and this man is crazy. But don't look to someone else to make you happy. The source of happiness is within you. If you find that source and your partner finds that source, then you got something. Otherwise, you're going to have madness. You're going to have creeping and sneaking and all kinds of other stuff going on just because it's not connected at the source. Tell me you hear me, you feel me, you understand. All right. Woo! Oh, you did that. I wonder why everybody's going to sleep. It's this heat. So, how many people you know who've been married 3, 4, 5 times or heard about it? Many of them. Because they're saying, I was happy when I met them. Now I'm not happy, which means they're not making me happy no more. Ain't nobody in your life to play circus clown for you and make you happy. No, that's not what this journey is about. It's not about that. Everybody everybody has their own road to hoe, their own way to go. And what you want to do is find somebody who's equally harnessed so that you can pull the plow or whatever it is, the wagon, the same way at the same pace. Then you got something working for you. If you're not doing that, then I would say the whiz got involved again. I want y'all to get this idea that once you believe that you are nothing in and of yourself, that everything of real value is outside of you, then you're going to be on your way to the land of Oz. Don't you remember when you were growing up? Or those who are still doing it? Folks will tell you, you got to make something of yourself in life. Where did that come from? To want to make something of yourself is to assume that you're nothing there. And you came here whole, complete, with happiness. You see, they be happy. And we think they just dumb because they little. But they be happy. Even though they can't work the body, they be happy. They're in the light. All right? So understand that. It's very important to realize. I think that's pretty close to what I'm going to do. Yeah. You want me to say something more?
Yes.
Like
What it takes to get back home.
What it takes to get back home is to recognize, first of all, that you're outside yourself, and then to go within, follow some of the masters. I mentioned different masters who have said the direction in. They're spiritual traffic cops. They're telling you the way to go. But you have to have experience of yourself. It's not enough to know the words. You actually have to experience yourself. When I had my experience in Ethiopia, it changed everything for me. Because I thought it was an intellectual pursuit. But that was the whiz, again, running this game. And then when I had the experience of discovering who I am in truth, everything was different. I became a new being in this creative process. I became, as I said earlier, a healer through words. That's what came to me. You're the hub, and these are the spokes on a wheel. But know that you're the hub. The wheel doesn't have any strength if the hub isn't in place and the spokes are reflecting out of that. And the spokes that are reflecting out of the hub should be reflective of your true nature. Not just any old thing that comes along and you put, in there and say, well, this will do. No. Once you discover who you are in truth, that truth will show you the path that you should go. Everybody is born with their tools and their mission. Our challenge is to discover our workplace. All right? Everybody has tools. Everybody has a mission. But our challenge is to discover our workplace to do the mission we came to do. That's basically it. Now, some people are more fortunate. They may be able to experience the reality of who they are without going through the trauma. I went through a tremendous trauma in realizing this. But now, I truly do appreciate it. Then, I wanted to commit suicide because the whole world got turned right side up, and I thought it was upside down because I didn't know what right side up was. Do you understand? Does everybody understand? So, that's it. I want to close this out with another song. But before I do that, I would like for you to repeat with me a couple insights. You notice on the flyer, there was one that said,